Okay, so here we go. This is the second museum in the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum. We're here on a 3-hour layover, and since it's close to the airport, we decided to take a walk and do a walkthrough. Wow, this is all tattered. Okay. Ooh, I like this one. Is this a falcon? No, it's not a falcon. Super Sabre. Yep. And there's the Tomcat. Ooh, this it may be old, dates from the early 70s when it was developed, but it still looks sexy. Still looks quite sexy. X-35B. That's another sexy plane. And back here, an A6E Intruder. Not as sexy, but still pretty sure it was a good plane. Ooh, that's a MiG-15. Wow. That is cool. It's from the 50s, I think. Is that the Blackbird? And over here, we have a vehicle built by the Nazis. Yep, it's from Germany. Where are we at? We're actually going in a few hours. We're going to be going to Frankfurt and then Munich. Okay, onward and upward. And of course, we're getting to the most important plane, or I should say maybe controversial, since some people, this plane would help end World War II, and others say that it was unnecessary. And that plane, of course, is the Enola Gay, which in 1945, August of 1945, dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima. Was it necessary? Perhaps. Could have been avoided? Also perhaps. But history moves on.
I hate to talk about war stuff like that, but it's part of our history.
And that's where the Enola Gay is. It's a big, big plane carrying some very big armament, which, as I said before, some contributed to the end of World War II, when Japan capitulated, but others say that it might have been unnecessary. Moving on. Looks like there's a Boeing over here. And now we're on the section of acrobatic flight. There's some acrobatic, some balloon gondolas. And we're also getting into an area that has another important plane. And that plane is a supersonic Air France Concorde. Now, unfortunately, they don't let people go in, but when we went to France, we actually were able to go in to a Concorde. So we kind of know what it looks like inside. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate that we don't have that same privilege here. A lot of experimental planes. There's one that looks like a cross between a helicopter and a plane.
You get on, you sit down, and you strap into the wall. Right.
Okay, and moving on, we have some helicopters. Very early prototypes of helicopters. Very small ones to boot. And those up there, they're called autogyros. So at this time, we're going to be going up to the upper level to take a view at the Concorde and the Enola Gay from the top. Getting a good view of the planes. And as you can see, there's the Concorde. Okay, so we are approaching the top, so you can get a top view.
That's a CF700.
Okay.
It's a turbo fan that has fans in the back of the engine. I'll tell you about that later.
And we're now on the very top. We can see the Concorde all the way from the top. You can really see how big this is. That looks like a little car with wheels. Like a little commuter plane. Anyway, now that we're up here, we can see how big these planes are. And this facility is very big. I mean, area-wise, I'd say it's bigger than the main building over in the National Mall. And it has to be because it has all of these large planes that would quite simply not be able to fit on the main facility. And as I said, we're not going to the main facility today because we're only here on a 3-hour layover. And as such, it wouldn't allow us to catch our flight in time. But this facility is so close to the airport, it's like 15, 20 minutes away. So right now it's 12:26. Our boarding is going to be at around 2:40. So we do have a little bit of time to spend here. And there, of course, that's the Enola Gay from the top. Gives you a real grand scope of the aircraft that's here. All of these are historical in one way or another. Looks like that's a Japanese Zero. Or two, there's two. Right? One. Looks like they have some Japanese items here. There looks like a flying wing. So again, all of these aircraft are very unique. And here we're going on top of the first part of the that looks like a Thunderbird. So we're going on top of. Yeah, that's a nice little MiG right there. To think that 30 years ago or 40 years ago, these MiGs would have been fighting would be fighting our fighters for superiority. It's just amazing. And I see a Coast Guard helicopter. I never rode one of those because those are usually for search and rescue, but I almost had a chance to ride a Dolphin, which is the newer helicopter that the Coast Guard has in service at this time. And stupid me, I didn't go through it. Oh yeah, but look at that. Look at these beautiful planes. And look at this beautiful Tomcat from the very top. Wow. All right, so we've gone around. We're going to go on to the next annex. That's just to the other side, where we will see something equally. Okay, and as promised, we are going to go to the main attraction, which is the USS Discovery. And it's ironic that we're seeing the Discovery, but in about a week or so, or 6 days or so, we're going to see the Russian shuttle, the Buran, as it is in exhibition. So this is to Discovery. If you ask me, it looks more deteriorated than the Atlantis that is in the Kennedy Space Center. I wouldn't be able to say why. This one looks a little bit more deteriorated, more worse for wear. I wonder if it's flown more than Atlantis. Probably has. But nevertheless, it's still an impressive feat of engineering.
Oh.
We're going all around it. Going all around it. There's a Poseidon missile. Seems to be shot by submarines. And here's another view of the shuttle. The Canada arm is right there. So all in all, it's a very impressive feat of engineering. Very impressive. Okay, we have arrived in Frankfurt. So this is the Frankfurt station. We've had to go through a shitload of stuff to get here. But look how cute, look how beautiful this place is. Oh yeah, McDonald's. All right, now we got to figure out how to get to our hotel. So, okay, and here is the main tower. It is supposed to be the tallest building in Hamburg. I mean, not Hamburg. Stupid name. I'm thinking of Hamburg when it's supposed to be Frankfurt. Impressive sight. Okay, so this is now the center of Frankfurt. There's, we want to go eat here in this restaurant, the Ratskeller. I wonder if this is all original or if they had to rebuild it after the war. It looks very Germany-ish. Hurry, hurry, there's a train coming. The what?
Emperor's Hall.
The Emperor's Hall. Mm.
It's only open until 1. And then again from 2 to 5.
Man, look at these cobble streets. Oh, babe. Look at this, babe. Wow. We're still in the more touristy part of Frankfurt. It's amazing how they've rebuilt these houses, because as I understood, this was all bombed during the Second World War, and then they rebuilt it almost to the same way it used to be. It's amazing. Look at the little... This is the Romer Cathedral.
Wollte ich euch eigentlich zeigen, ganz am Anfang, aber das sieht ihr jetzt
Okay, this is our second day. Historic Museum.
It's the Frankfurt Historical Museum.
And here's the bridge.
Iron Bridge.
Iron bridge that has a whole bunch of locks on them. And this is the river mine, as in chow mein, or mine. I don't even know how to say it, how it's called. Look at that cathedral over there.
Oh, man, that's beautiful. Here, let me get a picture of the bridge before we go across.
Going through the bridge that goes to the river. As you can see, everybody leaves a lock that signifies their love. Little did they know that these locks get removed periodically. This is the Communication Museum. And as you can see, there's a lot of things to see here. It goes through the entire history of communication technology. Quite fascinating. Old TVs, old cell phones. Okay, so we've arrived to the main attraction in the Hamburg area, which is the Spire Technique Museum. It's supposed to be one of the largest aerospace museums, and we've been to quite a few. So we're gonna definitely see how this one stacks up. Yeah, we're gonna see the Russian space shuttle. So we will see you guys inside. All right, so we are in the entrance. And it has got a lot of vehicles, even a little submarine. Yeah, a little tiny car. Look at that tiny little car over there. Yeah, I see it. Look at that. What? Oh, look at that little tiny little car. Okay. We got a lot of stuff here. There's a fragment of the Berlin Wall. little tank. Little motor tank. I wonder if this is a real submarine. It's tiny, tiny. That looks like a bigger submarine. All right, now we're in the outside part. They have quite a few things on display here. F-15 Eagle, F-101. It's like a commercial Lufthansa airline over there. Over there, there's an Antonov plane, one of the big Russian planes. And what is this? Oh, an F-4. Oh, a Blue Angel. That's cool. Looks like we can go onto that plane and then slide all the way down. Huh, that looks fun. What is that? But in there, that's where we want to go. That's where the Soviet space shuttle is. And we will be going there in a moment. This is inside of a Lufthansa plane. Obviously they're cut out. And you can see the inside.
Einerseits, um die Instrumente gegenseitig zu checken, andererseits als zusätzliche Sicherheit, um zu sehen, ob der Co-Pilot den Start mitverfolgt. Der Kapitän antwortet mit Checkt. Nach Erreichen der Geschwindigkeit V1, die wir nach dem Start kurz näher erläutern wollen, nimmt der Kapitän die rechte Hand von den
Here's the washrooms. Ah, these are smaller than the ones that we came in.
Bei der nächsten vom Co-Piloten ausgerufenen Geschwindigkeit VR, das Flugzeug kann nun vom Boden abheben, zieht der Kapitän die Steuersäule an sich und die 747 Udar erhebt sich mit fast 300 Stundenkilometern langsam.
Ah, another kitchen here. Oh my God, there's more stairs. Oh, that's going to be the first class stairs. Ooh. And we're going up the first class. Ooh, made it. So this is the first class lounge. Yeah, they got room to move here. And of course, this is the pilots. Very nice. Well, here's the main event. The Soviet space shuttle, Buran. I think it's the only one in existence. How do we get in? Oh, there's the stairs. So we are going in. going in. Or maybe not. It says as far as we'll be able to go. Yep. I guess we're not going any further than this. But it's still pretty neat that we get this close. Okay, so we're going now to the side entrance. To the shuttle. By the way, at Kennedy Space Center, you should take a page out of these people. They let people inside their crap. You don't even let people touch it. So Kennedy Space Center, you should take a page out of their book. And they've only got one. They only got one shuttle. You guys have like 5. Ooh, there it is. And that's the cabin right there.
Why does it have a seat when it was supposed to be autopilot?
I don't know. Ah, this is a thing of beauty. Yeah, people are going up to see into the shuttle, or into the Buran, the Soviet shuttle. There's a mock-up of our lunar lander and the lunar rover. But it seems that this shuttle is smaller than the American shuttles for some reason. And the rocket configuration that they have in the back is also quite different. But it's just amazing that they even were able to copy this kind of thing. It's just amazing. It's all a very different design. Looks like it's an ejection seat for a MiG. Okay, here we have a good shot of the backside of the Buran. And as we move around it, we get a better sense of how close this looks to the American shuttle. It's amazing. And our tour continues. Here on the outside is a big old Antonov 22nd, which we're going to be going in a little while. There's a submarine. I can't tell from where, but we'll soon find out. So, where do you want to go? To the boat first? And this is the boat. Huh. Ooh. Yeah, I know. Whoa. Hey. Huh?
Ausgang.
Aufgang? We're going into that sub. Can't wait to go in there. Alright, so we'll be going into that sub now. Alright, so now we are going into that submarine.
Looks like a whale.
You think they modeled submarines after whales?
Who knows? Oh wait. Ausgang. Wait, is that?
It's two different pieces.
But isn't Ausgang out?
Maybe, yeah. I think so.
Eingang is in. The Hansstadt Herford. 67 to 93. And here you got a collection of some tanks. But we're going into the main event, which is the submarine. Ooh, this looks challenging.
You might need to turn that off.
All right, we're gonna sign off while we get down there because that looks very challenging. All right, so we're able to make it down.
Wow.
It seems to be the torpedo room. And here it looks like you have some benches here for you to eat. That's just some more benches. First aid kit. This is some kind of officer's mess, officer's room. And here's the kitchen. Yeah, very tight quarters here. And here is, I believe, the periscope is. Wow. Here's the con station. Yeah, this is very claustrophobic. Look at all the regulators. Oh, this is the snorkel. This is what they use to reprovision themselves of air. Here, this is very. Okay. Those are all valves. And this is the engine room. Okay, I could have sworn I heard someone farting, but maybe it's my imagination. And here is the engine. And we've gotten to the end, so we're going to be going back up. Okay, we're coming out now. Whew. Well, it would be tough for me to live now, but if I'd have been young, I could handle it. Whew. All right, we'll see you on the next ship. Okay, so Time to go into that big old Antonov. And maybe into that little helicopter. Okay. It's time to Antonov out of here. All right, so here we are. Let's go inside. Wow, this is a big old cargo plane.
Keine Sekunde hat ihr letzter Flug von Baden-Airpark nach Speyer gedauert. Majestätisch stolz auf ihre riesige Masse von 120 Tonnen Aluminium sagen die
Wow, this is big. Okay, so we are in the Speyer Cathedral. We're underneath the cathedral. We're going to go into the crypt.
When you approach the cathedral from town, you are
I'm not sure whether
Romanesque west wing with its 3 doors.
if it's light enough for stuff to be seen here, but it's really impressive though. I wish I knew where I was going, but all right, so the last stop is this Russian helicopter. I don't know what the designation is, but we're going to go inside real quick. It seems to be like some kind of cargo helicopter, and indeed, that's exactly what it is. Doesn't seem too comfortable, but hey, it is what it is, and it's Russian. So let's go back out, and then we'll be heading off to the next agenda, the next place on the agenda. Okay, so we've arrived at the banks of the Rhine. Oh, that one has cars on it. And here there's a cruise line that goes just up along the Rhine. It's one of the largest rivers in Germany. One of the most famous in the world. So something that I wanted to see for a while, and finally got to do it. Okay, and we're now in the center of the town of Speyer. Behind me is the cathedral that we were in before. This is a very quintessential Bavarian town. It's not very touristy. The only reason there's any people here at all is because of the tech museum. But again, this is a very quintessential town. Nice little German back. What would it be? Is this like a Jeremiah's?
That's what it looks like. Except they have food.
Corn Gas.
That's the name of this.
New Yorker, dressed for the moment. Oh, what's that? Yeah, this is the restaurant. This is where we're gonna eat. This is the restaurant. These are Automunes. Alright, let's get it. Check it out. Okay, this is our last night in Frankfurt. We just came back from the Technique Museum, the town of Speyer. It's about 10 o'clock. Oh yeah, McDonald's is open. Alright, we'll film a little bit more when we get outside to see how it looks outside. Okay, so we're outside of the station, heading toward our hotel, which is maybe 5 minutes away. So, this is going to be my last vlog for today. Tomorrow we should be in Munich, and we'll see what happens over there. This is the main train station here in Frankfurt. And the red light district is that way, but unfortunately we don't have the time, so I'm just gonna have to skip it. Alright. Auf Wiedersehen from Frankfurt. As you can see, we're going at 91 miles an hour, 92. Well, looks like we're slowing down a little bit. But it did go at one point to 107 miles an hour. So, it's one of the high-speed trains of Europe. Our second day in Munich. This is the
Marine
the Marienplatz.
Glockenspiel.
Yep. And over there is the Rat House where we're gonna go eat later.
Ratskiller.
The Rat's Killer. Rat House. Oh my God. I'm terrible. And to think that all of this was reconstructed after World War II, because the Allies leveled the city, so they had to rebuild it. There's the Rat's Killer. So now we're going to be going to the victual market, so we'll see you there. Okay, we're in the German Museum, the Technology Museum, and here we're on the lower level where they have some boats.
Marine navigation.
Some boats, actual
There's planes.
boats that you can actually touch. I don't know if we're supposed to, but
That's amazing.
look at this big old honker.
It's the Dukenschlepper.
Sailing takes me away to where I want to be. Oh, look, Indian canoes.
We can go in this one.
Okay, so over there, I'm now going into the computers section, the mathematics and computer section. All the ancient instruments that were used to calculate. We're starting to get into the phase where everything was computed with vacuum tubes. See? Look at that. Like an old mainframe. Wow, that's one of the first hard disks. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it had like 5 or 10 gigabytes, or megabytes. No, not gigabytes. Not gigabytes, megabytes of storage. That's incredible. Okay, and as we can continue on here, we're going to get into familiar territory. Right here we have a few computers of the 80s, early 90s. Here we have video game consoles. Some recognizable, some not. And then over here we have laptops. Yep. And over here, that's the first personal computer. I can't imagine trying to get on the internet on that one. And over here is a Cray supercomputer from the 70s. This is a big monstrosity of a computer. And here are computers from their mainframes from like the 60s. IBM 360 was very popular in the 70s. And this computer here, notice the array of vacuum tubes on the very back there. Wow, look at all the vacuum tubes on that one. It's a Remington. Oh, I've never seen one of these. Wow. Imagine if you had to troubleshoot this, find out which vacuum tube was blew out. It's a monstrosity. This is now the
On the right.
okay. This is the musical section, and already I see a few electronic instruments. Wow. This is a killer synthesizer setup, if you ask me.
This one's one of the first synthesizers.
And here we're going over to the digital synthesizers. The ones that we saw before were analog, and these are just pianos, player pianos. Looks like this is a music box. Wow, it's very interesting. This is a room that is a replica of the Altamira cave in Spain. It's kind of dark in here, so I'm not quite sure whether this will show up. But it is still kind of amazing that they were able to replicate this. This museum has an actual mine after the ground floor. So we're going into the mine. It might be a little dark, so it just blows my mind how they just recreated this underneath the building.
See the guys started working there.
Yep, they are at work. Or hardly working. One of the two. What else is over there?
Ja.
And here, more mine goodness. Oh, mine goodness. Huh. That's pretty neat. Oh, a mine car. Slide iron. I know. Okay, now the mine is getting a little smaller.
Mit Bildschach in Holzen, mit Knüppelforschung.
A little smaller, a little smaller. Anybody who's not claustrophobic. Stalagmites.
Do you see stalagmites?
Or stalactites, whatever those things are.
Tights is from the top, mites are from the bottom.
Well, we are in an actual mine, so. Wow.
It says
Car.
right.
I hope that this will show up. When,
Look at the minecart tracks.
I know. Well, look.
Oh, he's falling self across. Oh, where's the line card?
Horses. Oh, I've never seen this much detail in a preserved mine. Well, we just finished that Deutsche Museum. It's big, it's big. Not as big as the one in Berlin, but nevertheless, it's pretty extensive. And this is the entire building. And now we are going through a bridge, going through the River Isar. It is very full because it's been raining. As you can see, it is a raging river. Now we're going to be going to the Ratskeller, eat some rat, eat some. Supposedly one of the most iconic restaurants in Munich. So we're going to be heading there in about an hour. So we'll see you then. And we are here in the Dachau concentration camp, one of the most infamous sites in all of Germany. Looks peaceful now, but this was the site where thousands upon thousands of Jews, gypsies, other people not considered fit to live under the Third Reich were brought here, as well as Slavs, Poles, number of religious followers. Anybody that didn't mesh with the ideals of the Third Reich were brought here, basically. So here's where. Okay, we're approaching the site of the crematoriums. That's what it looked like on the outside. Let's take a look at the horror that we'll find inside. I hope it's not too somber. Oh, there's the ovens. And herein lies what I believe are the gas chambers. And we're going to go in the order in which the prisoners would have arrived and been processed. So starting from this end here, we have the disinfection chambers, which is where the first stop where the prisoners would have been put through. Yep. The prisoners would have been asked to go in through these disinfection chambers. And after this process was done, they would move on to the next building. And here in this building, they were collected. This would be the waiting room. And in this next room, the prisoners would be asked to disrobe for supposedly a shower. So as we move in, this would have been the gas chamber where the prisoners would be executed. Notice that these holes on the top would be disguised as they would have shower heads to make them believe that they were actually going to get showered. And this room here was used to collect the bodies after they were massacred. And then finally, this is the actual room, the cremation room. The incinerator room. And this room would be used to pile up the dead bodies. We're going to take a look at a smaller facility. This used to be the old crematorium. Same thing, but it looks like on a smaller scale. And with that, we conclude this part of the and here are the barracks section. This place is very foreboding.
Dominate.
Whoa. Come on. Never done a 360 on a bike, but... Oh. Alright, so we're still going on our bike ride. We've gotten to a lake, which is reportedly incredibly cold, but some people have braved through it and gone all the way under, which is pretty brave. So we're moving along. We're going to be going on the road pretty soon on our trusted bikes. It's a beautiful day.
Nice.
So, okay, we're beginning our hike up to the castle. We were told that it's a 25-minute hike. So there's that one, the first castle, and the second one is right behind us. It is a beautiful day. No rain as we thought there would be. And it's not cold, it's not too hot, it's just right. So between now and the time that I die when I get up there, we'll see how it goes. We made it to the top, well, to the bridge. So let's see what the whole fuss is about. Whew. Oh, it's a hurdy-gurdy. Okay, let's see what we got. That's awesome. Wow, this is just frightening and beautiful at the same time. If you're afraid of heights, this is not the place to be. So now we are heading toward the castle itself. That bridge was terrifying. I almost fell to my death. There was a plank that was loose. I almost fell right through it. Sheesh. It's a death trap. But thankfully now we're going downhill. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Ain't that purty? That's so purty. That is so pretty. Look at that.
Oh, look, you can see the fortress from here.
Oh, the second one, yep. And look behind us.
I know.
Well, now at the base of the castle. Almost there. It's been a brutal trek up.
А як тут сфоткатися? Це отак, дай фотоапарат, і зараз ви станете зверху, а щелкну вниз.
And we're here. Cinderella Castle, I mean, the Swan Castle.